Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
What are they, like mice?
No, they're aliens.
Oh.
It's like space
close.
and shit.
Oh, cool. All right. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman.
And we just watched Alita, one battle angel after another. Remember that movie?
Yeah. There was a whole lot of roller derby in this movie, way more than I expected.
Good morning.
There are no hands on the clock
Why?
because they're not needed.
What time is it?
I don't remember that part. All right, let's just not nitpick over the passwords. This is Bob Ferguson. I was a part of the French 75.
Bitch, I felt like Tony Montana!
Steve Lockjaw just attacked my home. And I cannot remember, for the life of my only child, the answer to your question.
Leo just shredding
Yeah.
in his robe and his
rad.
ponytail. Yeah, it was a stealth rad reboot.
It was the weirdest thing about this
It's
movie.
the strangest fucking thing.
Yeah. Man, this is the new Paul Thomas Anderson. It's
is.
getting all the good reviews. Nearly 3 hours long. Probably going to be the,
Boy, oh boy.
it
It sure is nearly 3 hours long.
is. It's 2 hours, 40 minutes. It's probably going to be
Allegedly.
at the Oscars, right? This is going to be an Oscar movie.
I guess, who cares anymore? But probably.
Yeah. I'm just giving it its status.
Yeah,
its
these are its
status.
stats.
Right. This felt like it
If
was
you
an
had
Oscar
the game
movie
on free
before.
play and just like a tracked mode and it was just cycling through like the different character profiles, these would be one
Right.
battle after another stats.
Paul Thomas Anderson, that's his whole thing, right? He makes
Stats.
like Oscar movies.
Yeah, more or less, I think.
Or it's not even that he makes Oscar movies, that the Oscars love him.
Yeah.
Does that make more sense?
I think
He's-
that's right. Yeah, I think that's right.
One would say he's a good director.
Yeah, he makes pretty good films of the ones
Yeah, he
I've
makes-
seen.
Yeah.
He has the reputation of a person that makes good movies.
Yeah, and like wildly different movies though. Like I always like going through, I'm like,
It is weird that he made There Will Be Blood.
and Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah. It's like
And
comparing
Inherent
that
Vice.
to like Boogie Nights.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you're right. He tends to make more upbeat, but he's kind of has that Coen Brothers thing where he's like,
Yeah, a
here's a
little
fun
bit.
one. Here's a less fun one. Here's a fun one. Here's a sad one. And he just, I don't know. This is a fun one, I'd say.
He's
How'd
like a
you
mischievous
like this movie?
little elf.
Yeah.
I liked this movie okay. I had a kind of a question for you. First of all, how did you like it?
I think I really liked it. I had a great time watching it.
Yeah, I thought it was
Like,
really
I was-
entertaining.
Yes. I was in the right, like I had just woken up. I got up. I was like a little sleep deprived. I didn't sleep well. And I sat down to watch this movie knowing it was like long. And I was like, God, I hope this isn't like a drama. And then I never like, I just, it flew by for me because it is like a pretty entertaining, like
It's like a
thriller.
It's like a black comic crime thriller.
Yeah. And so it really got me, like, and I quite liked it. I don't think it like I saw a review that was like I had to watch it twice to see what it all meant. And I'm like, I don't know if it means
That's the
anything
thing I was about to
much.
ask you. Like, I think Paul Thomas Anderson carries that reputation of being an Oscar director, like you were saying. So I think people carry that sort of baggage into his movies. But I was going to ask you a question. Do you think modern Paul Thomas Anderson, at least, is basically just Quentin Tarantino to a degree. And I don't mean in terms of his style. I mean in terms of the substance of his movies.
Where it's just like coolness.
Yes.
All right, so I didn't see Licorice Pizza.
Neither did I. So this makes an immediate problem.
I didn't see Phantom Thread.
Okay, so maybe this is falling apart.
Well, but I did see Inherent Vice. I did see
yeah.
The Master.
Yeah.
I think The Master is the last time it meant something huge. Inherent Vice felt like a soup. The thing is that it's like, it's one of those things where I went into it not thinking, because there was like,
there's so much that
there's a lot of there's a lot of politics in this.
Stuff that's
However,
immediately like
it's based off a book called Vineland that takes place in the 80s, and it's supposed to be about hippie activists from the 60s.
Oh, that's very clear.
Yeah, it was about this. I think this is the thing, is I think this is like similar to something like Civil War, except I thought Civil War was a little more irresponsible. Whereas what I mean is that it's more like the specific politics or vibes, where it's actually about generations of revolutionaries, and it's like what they're fighting against, as evidenced by the book it's based off of, just needs to be like something that people relate to. You know what I mean? I think the vibe I got from this is it's sort of about an old revolutionary versus a young generation, and sort of
100%.
passing that torch, and like a kind of like there was a nice little bits about like the kind of the bureaucracy of the revolution is like
how they failed specifically.
Yeah, where it's sort of that thing where it's a very big tent, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people with a lot of beliefs, and everybody is like kind of obsessed with code words and saying the right things. And
everybody has their like individual foible kind of.
Yeah.
And that's that character's like he's really stuck on protocol. Like it's not about how they failed. It's about how they didn't change the world. Like he has a speech with his daughter, Leo does.
Right.
And so it makes total sense to me that it was, because I thought that was just going to be the theme of the movie, because PTA himself is a Gen Xer, I think. So his parents would be the hippie generation.
Right.
Would they not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, anyway, it definitely came off like the younger generation being handed this fucked up world that really the problem is still pretty much the same. Like it's still the same room of white dudes as represented in this movie. With fucking hilarious names, with Key and Peele basketball draft names.
I loved it. Yes. And the fucking Christmas Adventurers Club I fucking love.
Christmas Adventurers.
That was perfect. Like that was like, because it's like too many movies are like, it's Spectre, they're in charge of anything. It's like no.
It's
these like honky Nazis.
It's these fucking dummy
people.
Nazis. Yeah, like the Ku Klux Klan. They're all their names are Dungeons and Dragons shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Wizards and hobgoblins and stuff. Anyway,
but yeah, I think like
it definitely
it focuses.
It totally felt like that.
Yeah, it focuses on immigration. Like it doesn't say ICE. It doesn't mention ICE.
No, but
because I think that's just the current battle. I mean, it's called one battle after another.
Yes,
the overall thought is that it's sort of just a big statement on like resistance is constant.
Mm-hmm.
It's one battle after another, and you make very little progress.
Yeah,
and but you can't stop really.
Right.
Like it just because it feels like futile doesn't mean you just have to keep going, and it has to be like there's this feeling of like at a certain point a generation can only do so much. Like you can only at a certain point the older generations do like have to pass the torch on
because
Leo they don't really
we gotta stop because we have a family now.
Right. And it's like, and they don't really understand. No, they do the thing where he doesn't understand like the pronoun stuff, right? And like it's not really a pronoun joke. It's more of a vibe of like he doesn't understand the new generation,
and and he's maneuvering around her anger. Like she's yelling at him, And
Right,
he's
and
like,
he has to be like, "You're right,
you're
you know,
right,
you're
yeah."
right.
He's like, because he's trying to be like, he explains it, he verbalizes it a lot later, which is, it's not a perfect movie,
Yeah.
but he does flat out say, I'm trying to be the cool dad, but I'm also trying to be, respectful, but also have wisdom, and it's like, he's juggling that, like the hippie dad, still trying to be plugged in and still, yeah.
I think of like right now, shout out to my parents who are boomers, and they sort of, they were hippies. They were, and like, then there was this span of time when I was growing up and they were focusing on a family. And lately they've been a little more like my mom's going to protests. And it's that moment where a generation that sort of like, was like, all right, time to settle down, is like, looks out the window and goes like, fuck, is that still happening? It's that feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue, and they would argue, that it's worse now, but it's that, right? Where Leo is this guy who basically just wants, like, he's just getting high, getting drunk, and he's like hanging up his resistance hat, and then basically what happens is it
hung
comes
up his
back to get him.
bombs.
Yeah.
And they come and we need your bombs one last time. But he doesn't. He never bombs anything.
And he can't keep up. He literally can't keep up with the parkour resistance ninjas on the roof.
Holy shit.
eats
When he
shit.
fell off the building.
Yeah. It was amazing. And then gets up and gets tased.
Yeah. So anyway, my question was sort of around like more about I don't know, because we are discussing kind of what the movie means, even though it's not like super deep or.
I don't think it's super deep. I think
so what I said is he kind of like a Tarantino? Is this just like what you're saying? It's just the current struggle. So it feels like this is more. Is this more just kind of an entertaining story with this as the backdrop?
I would say yes, both, because I would say he is more, I would say, principled or more like has more restraint than Tarantino.
100%.
I would argue that Tarantino, his movies mean way less, but I feel like this is like he
100%.
managed to like thread this needle where it's about something, but it's not trying to get into the weeds of what it's about. Like it is like immigration, weirdly, could have been. It sort of could have been anything, but also not, because it is woven in this with Benicio del Toro and his story and like the things he's doing, and like it does because they also comment on the fascists and what their downfall is, which is each other, and specifically like their wealth and their interests, where you learn like, oh, this town is protected. This town, one of the fucking Christmas adventurers is like, we need these immigrants. I need them to run this stuff in this town. Basically, you really like Sean Penn gets got because the fascists are like, no, not those people.
Right.
We need those people.
Yeah.
You could go after these other people, but those
are our slaves.
Exactly. And then you have like. So it's like there is a lot on like immigrants in this country, and then you have like Benicio.
To be clear, I was speaking as those characters.
Yes, yeah. But the idea that fascism tears itself apart because they it's this idea that we all have to follow orders, but they're kind of denying their natural, like, who they are. Sean Penn is to put it lightly, attracted to black women. And like
there's the other Quentin Tarantino thing, where it's like Sean Penn is just the king of fetishizing black women.
Yes, he is. That's his whole thing, and the whole thing is the fascists that he wants in on the Christmas Adventurers Club are like, they're white nationalists. So the idea, the premise, if you haven't watched,
literally
the movie,
give
for
him a
fuck's sake,
purity
watch
test.
the movie. Yeah.
Well,
so
he
idea
administers it, but yeah.
Yeah, him having a interracial relationship at the start of this. It's basically, this movie's two eras. It's like the early, before the kid, and after the kid, like a difference of 16 years. So it's like Leo and the mother, who's not in it nearly as much as I thought she'd be.
No, she's gone after the first act. after the prologue, which I liked. I was
Perfidia.
Yeah,
Beverly
Perfidia.
Hills.
Yeah, Perfidia Beverly Hills. She's gone after like the first like little prologue act, which I liked. I was hoping they weren't going to do some sort of Deus Ex Machina where she comes back at the end.
I was terrified she was going to save her at the end. I was like, that better not happen.
That can't happen. So you know.
And she saves
PTA
herself
a little more
is
responsible
the
than that.
idea. Again, it's a passing of the torch. She saves herself. And then at the end, when she's going to the protest, he's like, be safe. And she's like, something like, I won't. And like leaves. Yeah. Yeah. Because again, I think you're right in the sense that this is a action thriller. And that is, it is just as much that as it is like a movie about something. And honestly, it's more of an action thriller, I think.
Right. That's like, I would liken this to like an Inception almost. Like that's kind of like an Inception and like an Enemy of the State. I mean, an Inception and sort of in terms of how the last part of it's paced.
Right. I'm trying to find the perfect metaphor. So like, okay, you know what it is? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a left leaning, a liberal or a liberal version of like a Lethal Weapon, meaning that, you know how in the 80s we'd make these action movies that were action first, but they were always a little conservative. The bad guy was always just like a brown guy, or like, you know, like everything was sort of like conservative, had this coat of conservatism on it.
Not in Lethal Weapon, but
not Lethal Weapon, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
True Lies, or like, you know, where it's like we're an action thriller, but it's through the lens, I would argue, of a very like a realistic look at what's going on in America right now.
100%. But I don't know. That's. But
it's like
the Silververse is incredibly conservative.
It's sort of.
It's not a secret.
Like, I talked about this before. My criticism of like the Jack Ryan series is like the Jack Ryan series is always like, we're the CIA. We got to get these terrorists. We got to defeat them. And it always involves, like, I'm talking about the show,
right?
Him like going into another country to help with a coup, like fighting like Latin American people, and the Jack Ryan movies. And it's like,
that's what those movies are about too.
And it's that thing where it's like, hey, you know who's a really big terrorist problem in this country? White supremacists. Christian nationalists. Why don't these movies ever do that? And I think some of them have along the way, but you know, they always kind of shy away from that. Yeah. You know, one of the biggest bombings in this country was a white supremacist in the 90s when these movies were coming out. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you never did we're going to go after.
That didn't make it into Eraser.
Right. And this is sort of that, only now they're like, that's also the government. So it's like they're basically henchmen and evil. It's just like an 80s evil guy, but it's sort of like, well, what are these people nowadays? Like, who are the faceless henchmen now? Well, it's these fuckers, right? Like, it's sort of what we've been saying, where it's like, you know, people on the right will be like, I love Star Wars. And you're like, do you think you're the resistance in that? Yeah. You know, it's that. Where it's like, thematically speaking, in America right now, who's the resistance? Who's the empire?
Tell me what you think those movies are about.
Yeah. It's all to say that, like, you can make and craft a very easy thriller out of simply what's going on now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So all the bad guys in 80s action movies, you know, in broad strokes, are Colombian drug cartels.
Right. And it's like, okay, nowadays, who is the underdog? Who's the person trying to save huddled families from these soldiers? Well, it's Benicio del Toro helping all these immigrant families get away from these fucking army creeps. Like, it's just that's what it is.
They're police. So that was like the quaint thing was Sean Penn sits down at one point and it's like, give me a reason to raid all these places.
Yeah.
Because I know they're hot spots for this underground railroad.
But it's a sanctuary city. Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah. He's
and they're like, say it's cocaine so we can raid it. And it's like, they just raid it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ice. This is just ice.
Right. But again, the movie is ultimately not trying to say too much. But
no. And obviously it was filmed probably a year ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He probably, if he wrote it now, would have said like, oh yeah, they don't need any reason. I mean, they barely give a reason. They're just like, so this is like in the briefing, he's like, we're going to say
it's cocaine.
It's this. Yeah.
Yep.
I loved Benicio in this because I think he represented another kind of version, like when we're talking about this spectrum of like resistance, because they do things like, for example, in Leo is like super paranoid. He's like, no cell phones. Like everything is like these weird code words and then that ends up kind of biting him in the ass. Whereas Benicio is like this casual resistance guy where it's like he takes his time. He keeps his cool. He uses cell phones. He doesn't care about like being tracked. Everything is very like he's like, okay, just jump out the window and I go around this corner. He's like that, like he's the vibe of like a person who shoplifts something by just picking up and walking out with it.
Yeah.
Where he realized like act like you belong is the vibe that he gives off.
Act like you know what you're doing.
And he's just like, he's a fascinating character. I loved him because it's like he like keeps his voice down until he has to yell out.
He's an old hand at this.
Yeah,
that's exactly the idea, right? Like he's like this. It's meticulously planned, so they know exactly what to do.
He's planned ahead.
Yeah,
like everything. Yeah,
like
he's the version of Leo that didn't.
Sorry,
he's the version that didn't retire. Yeah, he's the one who's pacing himself. Again, one battle after another. He's the version of a person who never stopped fighting,
right?
But learned to pace yourself and learn to pick your battles carefully.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. All the way to the part where at the end they're like, have you been drinking today? He's like, a few small beers.
Yeah. He gets the DUI so Leo can get away.
Yeah.
And all the people he's was transporting.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's all about picking your battles, accepting certain losses, and doing what you can. Like he's also not trying to save the world. I think that's a big part of the question of like, why did they fail?
Right. And it's not that they failed. Like he says, we didn't save the world, I think, or change the world.
Yeah. Yeah. It's changing what you can. Where you are. Like Benicio is very locally like just working on the people around him and just saving who he can in the moment. So again, I
think it's like each member of the resistance we meet has like, a pretty like a flaw. And I was taking that as it sort of representing why it didn't work or like why they weren't able to change the world, but that's maybe not fair. I don't know. Maybe you're just supposed to read that as every generation of this is just made up of people that are just doing their best.
Yes, and I think it has to do with where you are in life. Like a line that really struck me, and I'm sure you relate to way more than me actually, is when the code word is like what time it is, and it's like time is a construct, and he's like, you fucking idiot, do you not have kids? Like, and it's that idea of like when you're young and you're like, hey man, nothing matters, and then when you get older, if you have kids, you're like, man,
no matter what I say, don't break the password.
Right. And then you're an adult and you're like, we need to get into the car in 5 fucking minutes.
It's like,
right
no, I'm
now.
leveling with you right now. This is me. Yeah. This is Bob. Forget the clubhouse shit. We got to go.
Yeah. And it's that, where it's like once you start like having kids or like having more responsibilities in your life, it can't, like the guy keeps being like, if you studied like our text and stuff like that, and it's like, no, it's
and then he gets immediately got because they're like, he's like, I'm not scared. You're not going to get anything out of me, and they're like, sure, but your sister will probably be scared. So,
that's the other guy, wasn't it?
No, he was the guy that was being a stickler on the phone.
Oh, was he?
It was the same guy.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like. Yeah, it's the thing where it's like, there's a resistance, but also people want to continue to live
life.
Yeah. It's that where it's like this idea of like, oh, we got to get out and go. Like, we have to be able to have a go bag and get out of the country as fast as possible. Like, when I think about that stuff, I'm like, I have cats. Like, and those aren't even kids. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's that feeling of like, no, you sort of like, you could either spend your life.
That's why we've built a go catapult. So
Exactly.
We're gonna launch her ahead and then meet her at the rendezvous.
Yeah. No, and that's this our main character, or our not main character, the mother. That's her conflict, right? Is she has the baby, and it's like, I got to travel light. Like, I can't. I'm married to the resistance.
Like, I am all in on this fight. Yeah.
Right. Like, she shouldn't have had a kid.
She should not have had a kid. But I mean, like, anyway. But yeah, truly, nothing else matters to her.
Yeah.
She tells him as much. And then, of course,
the reveal is it's actually her life. Is her freedom? She rats everybody out. For her freedom.
Yeah.
So the resistance doesn't matter as like it isn't the top priority.
That's right. She says "me" is what she says.
Yeah, it's sort of that idea though of like everybody has these priorities.
Yeah.
And it's hard to truly like, and it's the same with the fascists. Is like the fact I think part of the idea here. Okay, I think what they're kind of pointing out is, well,
it's funny that we're sitting here talking about what it means.
Well, we just watched it. That's the point.
Yeah.
No, but
after starting at the beginning, I don't think it means much.
Well, I do, so we're not talking about the awesome action and shit like that, but like every movie means something, you know.
Right.
But I don't.
Yeah.
I guess I'm realizing that the whole big difference between Sean Penn and Leo DiCaprio is Sean Penn is willing to sacrifice anything for what he believes in. And that's his flaw. That's what makes him evil. Like, the point is, nobody is willing to sacrifice the things they love for an ideal, because that destroys the ideal, right? Like to be a resistance.
Right.
Like, you can't turn over, you can't kill your own daughter. Nobody can ask you to do
that, yeah.
Exactly. Like, to be free, you have to practice that, and you have to practice living and being happy and loving, because what's the point? And fascists, the entire thing is it's fascist. It's Stephen Miller literally yelling to his staff, I have nothing else but this, which he literally did. Like, I don't have a life. This is it. And it's like, we can tell, Stephen.
That's married.
What it is. Yeah. Nope, not to him. And that's the thing, is like, that's the difference between the fascists.
I mean, she picked him,
and the
so
resistance.
Don't feel bad for her, but
I don't feel bad for her, no. But that's the difference, right? Sean Penn is going to kill his own daughter.
Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, he never has a change of heart. He wants to get into the Christmas Adventurers Club so bad.
It makes
that
him
he's
more
kill
furious.
His daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when
that's what it is like.
It's interesting when it's the possibility that she might be his daughter, as the little test is still compiling or cogitating or whatever the fuck it's doing. It's printing out.
Yeah.
It's printing the results. He opens up to her in as much as he is able to. Like, he asks her how old she is, and he kind of says it in a dad way. He's like, you must be 15, 16 now. But he's doing it like a psychopath. And then he's like seeing that she's wearing, it's like, you went to a dance? You went to a dance? Seems like fun.
You didn't wear makeup?
You didn't wear enough makeup? You should wear more makeup. You should look nicer when you go out to a dance. It's like,
he's trying to like,
that's as warm as he will ever be. But it's like, it's interesting that when it's just a possibility that she's his kid, he's willing to do that. But as soon as it's confirmed, he becomes no turning back
and leaves.
Yeah, no turning back, just complete descent into evil. Like, that really infuriates him.
He tries to father her real quick. Real quick. He's like, all right, and then even when he's dragging her to kill her, he's like, when she talks bad of her mom or something like that, and he's like, your mom was a warrior. You like he's like, don't
Dorothy
talk about your
Mantooth was a
mom that
saint.
way. Yeah, there's this weird idea. Sean Penn has a hell of an arc where he meets her.
He's like Yosemite Sam maniac in this.
She orders him to get a boner, which he does.
Yep.
And then he just can't get her out of his head, basically. And he catches her planting a bomb, and he's like, I don't care what kind of resistance. You can plant all the bombs you want. Just meet me here. I want because she stole his hat and his gun. And he's like, I want my hat and my gun back. And then she basically, she realizes, like, I'm going to have to fuck this guy. Like, you can sort of see it on her face of, like, I'm going to have to fuck Sean Penn. Because, like, it's in everybody's best interest. I'm going to fuck this guy. And so, like, the whole thing is, like, he doesn't actually, in that moment, he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care about his job. That's him putting... he's a maniac. I don't want to humanize him, but this is him putting happiness before duty.
His
right?
principles, yeah.
Yes. And that's the idea, is like, this is the only time he is vulnerable. And he has to tamp it down and swallow it and murder it, ultimately.
Yeah.
And that's his arc. And he ends up... it is actually a pretty good fable of fascism, right? Because he, as far as he knows, kills his daughter. I don't think it's ever confirmed to him that she lives. He kills his daughter. He gets shot in the face, and he's like, I did it. And they still throw him away. And they literally throw him out.
Gas him, and they put him in the incinerator.
Yep. And I don't think the gassing and incinerating is
accidental. Nope.
Yeah, that's a pretty big metaphor.
Yeah.
So I think the idea is, like, they'll get you too. It doesn't matter what you give for the fascists.
For them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you can give everything to these fascists, they will throw you on the heap. And it's sort of the flaw of the fascists, right? Is like, yeah, they're more efficient. They give up everything for the cause, but they inevitably they eat each other alive. Yeah, and so it's like, when all the fascists are left, they'll just turn on each other.
They'll just eat each other, yeah.
Yeah. Does that make us feel better?
They don't even
Not
wait
much,
for that to happen. They just cycle each other out. Like we see happen. They say in the beginning when they first bring... when Tony Goldwyn... Which, by the way, great pick.
Fuck. Yeah.
Great pick for the leader of the Christmas Adventure Club.
Amazing use of Tony Goldwyn. Yeah.
Pretty incredible. Also, he's a very distinct Nepo baby. His Samuel Goldwyn is his father or grandfather.
Yeah, it's kind of stunt casting.
Yeah, a little bit. So they're talking to Sean Penn, and they begin the little meeting by saying, we've recently had an opening.
Yeah.
They recently gassed somebody.
They sure did. By the way, his character name is Virgil
Throckmorton.
Yeah.
I forgot some of the others, but they were pretty great.
I'm going through. There's someone named Christmas Ted. I don't remember that. Yeah, there's Jungle Pussy is great. Some great names throughout.
Yeah, solid names.
Solid
everybody
white
has names too. Is the point I was making.
Oh yeah, everybody has a ridiculous name for the most part.
I think Pollux Troy is the one that shoots Sean Penn in the face.
Really?
Was that Pollux Troy?
Oh, the actor.
Yeah.
I was like, they didn't use the same name. That would have been amazing. I mean, there's a lot of guys in this.
There's a lot of men in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, again, on top of all this, like, it is a really funny and fun... Like,
it's not like, really funny.
The part where Leo
there are
is
some
high
really
and he
funny
has to
moments.
Yeah.
But overall, I wouldn't call it like... I wouldn't call this movie a comedy.
It's not a comedy. It's more that it's a fun action. And what I mean is, like, there's a certain point where you're on edge of your seat, but there's a part of you that knows like she's gonna live.
Oh yeah.
Like you get to a point where you're like, we're not making The Departed.
That was
We're not trying to do that.
That was my Inception comparison, where that last act is just edge of your seat, but like the resolution is going to happen.
Yeah, and there's some surprises, like Sean Penn gets shotgunned and drives off the road. I was like, well, that's it for him. And then
he's just walking back with half of his face blown off.
And it makes it so much better, though, because the idea is, of course, then he's reconstructive surgery and is just unceremoniously gassed.
Yep, just gassed. And
it's all... I also love that it's all for an office. He's so excited.
Like not
he says,
really that
mommy?
great office. Like it's not a nice office.
Yeah, it's mediocre corner office that he dies in a moment of bliss because he has his mediocre office, and it was all for that.
It truly is. Just like Okay, it was not Pollux Troy. It's an actor named John Hugenacker.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
that's a great name.
Yeah, solid name. He is in Jack Ryan, though.
Damn right he is.
All right.
Yeah, he looks like he could be a CIA.
He looks like a Jack Ryan sort of character.
I always thought about when the Matrix started casting, there were so many like weeb stuntmen who are like, now is my time. Where they're like, we need a guy who looks like an IRS agent who can also do like ninja kicks.
Who can like fuck shit up with a katana.
They're like, no one ever asked me. No one ever asked me. It's perfect. Anyway, but those guys probably also play just like CIA agents usually. There's like a, there's like, how there's like casting agencies that are like, we have bikers.
Oh, yeah.
There's got to be ones where it's like, we have squares. Like, we have dudes who
there's
can look.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a nerd service. Are you kidding me? There's one for every type.
There better be. Yeah. Anyway.
There's one for nice old lady. There's one for mean old lady.
Yeah.
It's same for old man. Same for coach. Anyway.
Yep. No, as for action, I would say at some points this is anti-Tarantino in that, like, Tarantino, weirdly enough, I think Tarantino's interesting because he loves coolness, but like we associate him with sort of bumbling criminal. But I feel like as he got older, like I guess what I'm saying is that his movies don't surprise me anymore. Whereas like him falling off of the roof and like losing them, that surprised me. But then also him getting
really
tased surprised me. Also, it's all for nothing because he just gets out.
Yeah.
And the point is sort of to show what the resistance has community, right? The idea is like we have people everywhere, like nurses. We have people,
and that's Benicio's network that gets him out so easily.
Yeah. And it's that idea of like we're everywhere. We're just people. Mm-hmm. So people are, and so like
this is the one area. This is the one thing that I can do. The kids say your lane. Strength. I think find your lane and stay in your lane.
Yeah. But that kind of action where it's like the momentum just stops.
Yeah.
And like,
oh my God, he just straight up falls off the roof like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, into a tree, and then like it's the kind of thing where even hitting the tree, they tried to make it realistic, but you're like, no, he's not standing up.
That's a serious fall.
Yeah,
he fell off a brownstone. Like that's a long way.
He's older than me. Yeah,
that's 3 stories.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if I fell 1 story, I'd be dead.
Christ, dude. Yes.
Yeah. If I fall off my chair, I could die. Leo, you're older than me. I know you have like Hollywood. You have like rich guy health. But I don't
your
buy
bones are the same age as mine, man. They can't take it. They can't take it.
You crack like an egg.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still like that action, the chase. It's more tension, right? Where it's like it's not gunfights. It's like these people on this road. That felt like a noir, like that when they're going up and down on the road and they keep seeing each other on the hills.
Great sequence.
Yeah, that beautiful tension of like And then you're like, someone's going to use the hills. Mm-hmm. And it's like, who's going to be? And it's her, because she's, wicked smart, and like just sets up this killer trap all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it's her having to kill a dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just parks her car on the other side of one of the hills in the
yeah.
Man, it's the thing that you freak out about when you're driving on one of these roads, is that you're going to come up one of those hills and there's just going to be somebody broken down right there.
It's just such a good thriller tactic.
Yeah.
Again, it feels like something that would exist in a movie from the 30s.
It's like Psycho, when she thinks the police car is following her.
Yeah, it's so simple and elegant and like not low budget, because a car has to ram into another, but it's like we're not making an action movie so much as we're making like a thriller action.
Yeah, like an Enemy of the State, like I threw out there earlier.
Yeah, he uses oneers a bit throughout, but they're not huge oneers.
Not noisy ones. It feels more like just to keep the ball in the air.
Well, it's also to show tension. Like the ones I noted was when it's like he's with Benicio.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's that idea of like where he goes to Benicio and Benicio's like, okay, here we go. And he keeps trying to plug in his phone. And he's like, nope, keep going.
Get the fuck up. What are you doing? Yeah.
And it really shows the difference between the two versions of them, where Benicio is like, no, we take our time. Mm-hmm. Come with me. We settle here. And he's like, we got to go, 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 go. And it's like, no, man, pace yourself. I know this place. I know how much time we have.
And we're seeing how many people are involved as he's walking through it. It's just scores of people. It's a whole network.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
Great scene. Mm-hmm. I really liked this movie, how it was crafted and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, on a scene to see, like, this is a really entertaining movie, and on a scene to scene basis, I really enjoyed it. It's just, I don't know, something overall. I guess it felt a little too topical for me right now, and this is completely a personal taste thing, just because of current events. And them, it has genuine themes that are applicable and that are handled, I think, responsibly and with thoughtful commentary. It's just like, it felt a little too much like the backdrop for Commando.
Right. I had that with Civil War. Where Civil War
didn't
was
matter
one
at all in Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War didn't have I'd say their message in Civil War was way less on the ball than this.
That was really misguided.
But
a rare
Civil
miss
War,
from Alex Garland, in my opinion.
Civil War is beautifully directed, and the characters are there
on a scene to scene basis. It's
exactly.
pretty good. Yeah.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's what you just said reminded me of.
Yeah.
Whereas like my reaction to Civil War was like, this is beautifully made, but I don't think it amounted to anything. And it was too on the nose, meaning that I was like, why even make it take place in America? Because that was
completely like it doesn't even say what political party Nick Offerman belongs to as the president, and it doesn't say anything about any of his policies.
Right. It just feels like it was like, well, Civil War is popular. People, that'll
the timeless theme of Civil War.
Yeah. And so, like, it's almost like if you're going to do an American Civil War movie, you need to actually make it like make up political parties, like make it more fantasy almost. I don't know. This isn't about Civil War, but my point is that like this is more, I'd say, the message is clear, but it is. I get what you're saying, where it does kind of use themes as sort of as a backdrop for a thriller,
as a sandbox for the story they want to tell. Yeah. However, in fairness, you did say something that made me think of this. It does feel like this is not our world. It feels like this is our. It feels like they've settled into a dystopia in this.
That's actually
in this movie.
That was one of the first things that I settled with, and also knowing the book is similar. the book that it's based off of is like kind of comedic, and it's kind of like it's like an alternate, because like the moment when they're like, we're this resistance and we're at this immigration border, and then it cuts 16 years, and I'm like, huh. And this feels like it was just like, it didn't quite feel like it was trying to be, because again, like ICE isn't mentioned. There's no like, it doesn't really lean into the immigration enforcement. It just becomes like the army, and it's in fact like Sean Penn's little army that's not even officially like he uses bounty. It's like
you're saying, it's the contrast. This is a well-oiled machine that's been in place forever because everybody plays their part and takes their time,
right,
and does it the way that it's Benicio.
But to your point, what is weird is that this could have been a Star Wars film.
Sure.
You could reskin it as a Star Wars
Yes,
film.
you could. Yes, you could.
You shouldn't. Shouldn't.
And that's kind of what I was saying. I guess that's ultimately the reason why I'm not going to say that I really enjoyed it, or that like I loved it, is because like it's just not really the movie I wanted to see right now.
That's
you
fair.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just like it was just a little too incendiary in the beginning. I felt myself being too like hyper vigilant for a mishandling of the theme or something. It just I don't know.
I
just hit me at the wrong time. I'm sure that's understandable for some people.
It's very like I said, Civil War. It's kind of that with me, where I was just like, I'm not in the mood. Civil War, not in the mood.
Really
for this.
not in the mood. Civil War.
Yeah. It's an interesting take, and I don't think you're wrong about that. But yeah, it I don't know. It delighted me. I thought very good use of American Girl. Best use of that song since
man, I
Silence
love
of
that
the
song.
Lambs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that one's really on the nose. It's like, I'm gonna get kidnapped. Like it's just
was really on the nose in this one.
It is, yeah. But it was like, I think that's the thing, is ultimately this is a very positive movie.
It is.
In its
message. It is a positive message for sure.
It's taking kind of a shitty situation and finding some light in it. But you can't really stop, like.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like, I think an exploration of like, what does it mean to be a parent in a resistance?
Yeah.
Is like to instill those values on the next generation so they can keep fighting.
Yeah, I like that it's kind of, I don't know. We already said all the things we liked about it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to end up repeating myself.
Teach your kids how to put people in headlocks.
Teach your
how to
children
fight Sean
well.
Penn. How to fight Sean Penn, mainly.
Yeah. So
I guess
you
final
can
thing I want to say.
Penn.
Final thing I want to say is everybody's great in this.
I think, obviously separating the art from the person, I guess, with Sean Penn, because that's out
It's
there.
hard because
That's
I'm
out
like,
there.
Sean Penn, playing a Sean Penn type, but very well.
Yeah.
Very well.
I mean, that's out there. Feel how you feel about Sean Penn. He's great in this, and I feel like an acting choice he made was that this character quit smoking.
Yes. And like quit smoking yesterday.
Quit smoking,
and
like
constantly.
because he keeps going to chew on his cigar, because he's kind of a caricature of the cigar chomping general,
Yes.
like Stephen Lang in Avatar.
Yes. No, he is. I think he kind of steals the show. He is ridiculous.
He really
in this.
does. He is. Let's talk about Coen Brothers character.
Yeah,
he's
a
like the
cartoon
biker
character.
of the apocalypse.
What's interesting is, who I would also argue really kind of plays out a type is Leo. Like he so like I was looking at
He
like
plays. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I think Rick Dalton in Once Upon a Time is the closest, where it's like
I'm just about to say that.
He doesn't play losers that much. He plays villains, but he doesn't play like I see him as like hair slicked back. Like even when even in Shutter Island, where it's like, I'm this put together guy, he plays very put together guys throughout. Or like like I'm trying to think like The Departed. He's very like, he's kind of coming apart.
He's
in that.
on
He's
edge,
very
and
stressed out.
volatile in that one.
But I guess what I mean is like stoner types. Like he's the dude in this. It's basically what if the dude was in an action movie where he is like in a bathrobe because he has to be because he escaped. He is running around. He's getting high all the time, drinking beers, and he's just kind of a fuck up.
At one point, he's running down the street with a rifle on his back.
Yeah.
And a bag in his bathrobe.
Yeah. And he's just a fuck up, man. He's just like this like it's such a good like when she's chewing him out and he's like, I know how to drink and drive. Yeah. And it's such a weird it's when you look at his career, it didn't feel unnatural, but I'm like, he hasn't really done that. Like he hasn't played like a stoner fuck up.
I guess not, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
like
the
it's
island?
very
Well, not the island, I'm sorry, the beach.
The beach, I guess. Yeah.
But not
it's
really. That's not
very,
really. So anyway.
It's Inherent Vice. It's very like, or again, it's the dude where it's like he's playing the dude, and that's so weird. It's just something feels so off about Leo playing that role.
Yeah. Like semi-competent, but not like competent enough to get himself to the different points that he needs to get to.
Yeah,
rather than the dude who's just kind of, stumbling into it like more noirish.
It's a great journey for him because you get to a certain point where like when he goes to the wrong car, I was like, man, how is he going to save his daughter now? And then it clicked in me of like, oh, I don't think he's going to save his daughter.
He's not going to, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I think she's basically going to have to save herself. And it's like this father's journey to like sort of realize that. Essentially, although the one part that I'm like was a little sweaty was the bounty hunter guy just having that turn. Where he's like, you know what? Fuck they give him enough lead up where everybody is treating him with like no respect, and they do the thing where he's like, I wouldn't trust him. Like the white supremacists are like, he's not like us, and then you get the vibe of like. Yeah, I guess he was right in the sense that you're all a bunch of racist pieces of shit to him.
Right, that we're going to murder a child.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this guy's a scumbag murderer who delivered her to murderers, don't get me wrong, but they do... It kind of comes out of nowhere, but it comes early enough that it's not like... It's not out of nowhere when he goes back to his car to get the gun.
No, it's like a little short film where he says... I don't do children. And he goes, okay, bring them to these other guys. And he goes, okay. And he's sort of reluctant, but
it's a long negotiation. Like Sean Penn tries a lot of different things, and then it does end up with, okay, you take her to these guys, I'll pay you your daily rate. So he's still like going to kill her for money.
Right. And then he brings her to those guys, and those guys are like these clear white supremacists. They're racist to him. And you can tell he doesn't feel good about it, and he's just trying to doesn't say anything. He just locks her up. He gives them the key. He's like, walk away, like he's trying.
You could tell he's kind of thinking about it on the way there because he asks her, "Is there anybody who's going to come looking for you?" And I think she takes it the wrong way. She's like, "Yeah, they're going to come looking for me, and they're going to fuck you up." And I think he's asking, "Will somebody come find you out here in the middle of the desert?"
Right.
If I decide to leave you out here in the middle of the desert.
Right. Yeah, it's a little mini arc.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It like pinged me, but it didn't like. It's not like a big deal. It was just like
not
an
enough.
interesting beat, I guess.
Yeah, not enough that I. Yeah, it just felt like more. Like I said, it felt like more another layer to the Tarantino-esque entertainment.
Right. Yeah.
Portion of the film.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It does. This feels entertainment forward.
Yes, it's weird that this movie probably could have been shorter, but personally, I actually liked all of it. Where I'm like, because the first half is like this very interesting. The first part is like a montage. It's one long montage, basically, of their relationship, and then it becomes like Leo raising this girl, which is also very fun. And then like every moment grabbed me is I guess what I'm saying. Whereas like every individual offer grabbed me and changed. It all kept changing that I was like, oh, I like this new thing. I like this new thing. I like this new thing. And like there was a part like in a slow part where I had to pee, and it was like one of the few times I ran where I was like, I don't want to really miss anything because it's a really effective story and thriller where it was like every new offer was interesting as it went.
Yeah, like the Sonic things.
Where Sonic the Hedgehog showed up.
Yeah, when Sonic showed up in Tails and Knuckles. Those
Unexpected.
Yeah, that was unexpected development early on in the film when Leo sits down and said, hey, do you want to play Sonic the Hedgehog with me? And she's like, maybe later, Dad. You totally don't expect that to come back.
Yeah.
No, but they have these little devices that are very sweatily explained.
Yeah.
So you're like, boy, I wonder if these are going to come back.
Yeah.
But sort of not in the way you expect.
No, not in the way, because you think again where they come in after the fact, basically.
Essentially,
where,
yeah.
Yeah, where it's like you think he's driving around with it and he's like, oh, it's going to go off. He's going to know it's the white car, not the black SUV. And he's going to go after that. Or like, oh, he's going to be searching for her and he'll save her that way. But it's after she's saved herself and he's just driving up and then it goes off. Mm-hmm. And it's like at that point, there's no threat. They're just...
Yeah, and then midway through when... who's that? Regina Hall comes and finds her. Like, we already know that she's coming to find her.
Yeah.
Like, we know that already. So it's like, it's never used in sort of like, you kind of expect it in a film like this to be used against them, and it never is.
Yeah. Regina Hall, by the way, I'm never used to her in a serious role. It's like a Leslie Nielsen with her, where I'm like, she's just funny because of Scary Movie. Like, I look at her
right.
and I'm like,
I forgot she's in that.
Oh, yeah. She's amazing in those. So, like, every time I look at her, I'm just like, that's just funny. Like, she's just a funny person. She makes me laugh. So to see her in this, in like a little tragic little role, there's a lot of Resistance people who kind of come and go, and they have little tragic ends where, like, she just gets arrested, basically. Like,
presumably.
She's jail arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gives them up, and it's like, well, she's going to go to jail anyway.
Right. Again, it's this idea that it's like what breaks these people is their connections and their vulnerabilities.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
What we said earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think we maybe talked me into liking this movie more. It's just initially it was just so like, oh man, this is such a
it's a big ask.
This is such a gut wrenching thing.
Well, you didn't start not liking the movie though, so I don't know.
Yeah,
and I definitely I see where you're coming from with that, but I do think what saves it is that it's kind of all saying the right things,
well,
like the right overall messages.
And I was surprised at how sort of timeless the message, the sort of message is, like the theme is.
Yeah.
Because like you said, the book was in the 80s, but you just shift it forward each generation and it'll fit perfectly.
Again, it's a very frustrating, and then we don't have to get into this, but frustrating thing where when right-wing people are like talk about movies and they don't seem to understand like basic morality, and it's like when you apply like the basic morality of a movie, which is just basic human morality, to what's going on now, you're like, okay, so who's the good guy?
Who's the
bad
guy here?
Yeah, who's who's in the position of power, and who's hurting people, and who is the underdog who is trying to get away and resist? Like, just do the math. Who's the rich?
Right.
Who's the rich casino guy with dumb hair, like with everything is gold plated? Like, it can't be. It can't. It's to the point where it's like some of the stuff where you're like, well, that's so on the nose that it's like you can't, like, I don't even want to associate that with evil necessarily. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's almost too easy and too cartoony that you're like, you want to go the other way. You want to be a contrarian about it. Like, not everybody with like a cheap tan and comb over, look like a real estate guy. They're not all evil people, right? Like, that's a stereotype based on how someone looks, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, and then you see it and you're like, come on, Jesus, really? Like the used car, there's got to be someone who's dressed
Stop
like a used car
confirming
salesman
the
who's done it.
stereotype.
Exactly. Like and I'm sure there is out in the world, right? There's a guy walking around dressed like a used car salesman who I'm sure is very nice.
There's
but it's
probably
that,
a
where
used
it's
car
like-
salesman who's very nice.
Yeah.
All the ones
yeah.
I worked with seemed fine.
Yeah, exactly. That seems like
It's
a
just
job that.
Dude, think about every movie you've gone back and watched. Are the good guys the ones that round people up into camps?
Right. Are they ever?
Have they ever been the good guys?
Right. And it's always funny when they're like, when a new movie does that and they're like, well, that's woke. And then it's like, what about the old movies you like, though? Like, those were those. What do you think George Lucas was talking about? What do you think the movies you like?
Exactly is woke.
Right. You would be calling those movies. Yeah. But that's all to say that, like, this movie, a thriller action just comes naturally to the rules of, you can just, again, you could literally make this a Star Wars too. That's why Andor was like, oh, we can just do it.
I still haven't watched it.
Andor isn't 1-to-1, obviously,
right?
But it's one of those where, again, where where it's like we're talking about fascists and what tears. It's weird to say, Andor is very similar to this.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, you should watch Andor.
Yeah, maybe I will. Like I said, like a lot of these sorts of topics, I kind of try to avoid when I'm watching movies right now.
Yeah, I get it.
But
Andor is like, I think Andor, it the spoonful of sugar. They're like, but pew 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 pew, and you're like, yeah, pew pew. You're right.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, pew pew.
Pew pew.
Interesting rejoinder.
Yeah.
All right, I think we've said enough.
Yeah, thanks for listening,
We're just talking
everybody.
about nothing right now.
Yeah, we're talking about pew pews.
That's true.
Yeah. We have Patreon. Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We have exclusive podcasts on there. For $5 a month, you get access to Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel, Boys, Him, Booze, our Supernatural podcast. Those are all on there. We watch movies every Friday night. That's another tier. We have a bunch of tiers. But we have like a movie night where you can go on our Discord and we watch a couple movies every Friday starting at 5 p.m. Pacific. And we have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. A lot of pew-pews. We also have a store. Head over to GamefullyUnemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store. We have all sorts of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out.
Yeah.
Please rate and review our podcast wherever you're listening. Check out our new show, Badical, Badical.
Yeah.
Watch those Blind Hills.
Yeah.
It's like I
Watch
already
those Blind
had
Hills.
a phobia of it. Now this is just the Lethal Weapon 2 surfboard. Now I'm just forever ruined. The Final Destination 2 log truck.
I love it when movies give you new fears. That's that's one of the biggest compliments you can make on
honestly,
any movie.
yeah.
It's like, you gave me a new fear. And that fear is Sean Penn.
Oh yeah, well
that was
not a new fear.
Hey, listen, our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can find him on twitter.com as the Corlew or go to shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Our episode artwork is by Justin Brown, available on Twitter as Justin T. Brown or at artnessbyjustinbrown.com. And finally, additional artwork is by Starlene Hodge. You can find her work at starlenearts.com or on Twitter as StarleneX. Cool. Goodbye.